The Velkrin armada had been hammering Earth's outer colonies for 3 standard years. Their bioweapons were legendary. Engineered toxins that could dissolve organic matter in seconds, spores that turned breathable atmospheres into caustic nightmares. They had conquered 47 worlds with barely a shot fired. Their method was simple: deploy the poison, watch the inhabitants die, then claim the territory. Earth was supposed to be conquest number 48. Commander Thel'ox stood on the observation deck of the dreadnought Inevitable, watching the human settlement on Kepler 442b through the tactical display. They had deployed Compound Zeta 9 3 hours ago, a neurotoxin so potent that it had wiped out the crystalline hive queens of Andromeda in minutes. The human colonists should have been dead within the hour. Instead, smoke rose from their cooking fires. Impossible, Thel'ox clicked, his mandibles chattering in confusion. Deploy reconnaissance drones. I want visual confirmation. What the drones captured would change the course of the war. In the center of the human colony, a woman named Dr. Sarah Chen stood over a large pot, stirring something that bubbled and steamed. Around her, colonists sat at makeshift tables, laughing and talking. Children played in the dirt nearby, and scattered across every surface were the distinctive crystalline deposits of Compound Zeta 9. The drones zoomed closer. Dr. Chen lifted a ladle to her lips, tasted the contents, and nodded with satisfaction. Needs more salt, she called out to someone off-screen. Then she picked up one of the Zeta 9 crystals, the same substance that had killed billions, examined it briefly, and dropped it into the pot. Thel'ox's 3 hearts stopped beating for a full second. Rewind that footage, he commanded, his voice barely a whisper. They watched it again and again. The human had deliberately added their most lethal poison to her food. She had tasted it. She was smiling. An hour later, Thel'ox received a transmission from the colony. Dr. Chen's face appeared on screen, her expression pleasant and professional. Commander Thel'ox, I presume? We intercepted your communications. Sloppy encryption, by the way. She took a sip from a steaming mug. I wanted to thank you for the seasoning. We call it MSG on Earth, monosodium glutamate. Your Compound Zeta 9 has a remarkably similar molecular structure. Makes everything taste better. Thel'ox felt his combat instincts, honed over decades of warfare, screaming at him to retreat. That toxin has a lethal dose of 0.03 micrograms. You added 10 kilograms to your food supply. Lethal to you, maybe. Dr. Chen set down her mug and leaned closer to the camera. Let me tell you about Earth, Commander. Our oceans are filled with salt that would desiccate your exoskeleton in seconds. We season our food with capsaicin, a chemical weapon that plants evolved specifically to stop mammals from eating them. We drink ethanol for fun, even though it's literally poison. We eat the decomposed products of bacterial colonies and call it cheese. She picked up what looked like a red pod. This is a Carolina Reaper pepper. It measures 2.2 million Scoville heat units. I grow them in my garden. For breakfast. Your species is insane, Thel'ox whispered. No, Commander. We're survivors. We evolved on a death world where everything, the plants, the animals, the weather, the geology, was actively trying to kill us. We didn't just survive. We thrived. We turned poisons into seasonings. We domesticated predators. We built cities on fault lines and in flood zones. We looked at the apex predators of our world and decided they'd make good pets. Dr. Chen stood up, and behind her, Thel'ox could see hundreds of colonists eating their Zeta 9 seasoned meal, healthy in content. So here's what's going to happen, she continued. You're going to withdraw your fleet. You're going to tell the Galactic Council that Earth is off limits. Because if humanity is crazy enough to eat your bioweapons for lunch, imagine what we'll do when we actually get angry. Thel'ox made his decision in an instant. Withdraw all forces. Full retreat. Mark human space as Forbidden Zone, Deathworld species. As the Velkrin armada fled, Dr. Chen returned to her pot of stew, added another crystal of Zeta 9, and called everyone to dinner. The war was over before it truly began.